Strength through will is how we can reverse the perversion of values that have been instilled in you, in me, and all our brethren, insidiously through generations of ancestral oppression. Though it stood with as much superhuman endurance as anyone could, it left a deep impression. Invisible scars that have caused us to devolve into a state of unconsciousness so malignant, we've nearly forgotten we're not a problem to be solved. We always been the solution they seek to dissolve, with the illusion of ties that bind us to a system that blinds, of most vicious design, which is to free no man. Only together, through sharing of wisdom, can we heal the wounds of division, forever sealing that evil incision, and finally deprogram.
Welcome to the Deprogram show. I got a very special guest in the building, the alphabet acrobat, the Dungeon family's own first generation, the one, the only, Big Rube. What's going on, my brother?
What's up, brother? I appreciate you having me on here tonight.
Man, I appreciate you for being on, man.
That's right.
All right, first we'll talk about, because I know you well versed in a lot of the subjects. We'll talk about this picture right here first, and we'll talk about this picture.
Yeah, that's the same picture I got up on my computer screen right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling you the other day when I first looked at it, I looked at it more now. It's a trip because it's like, at first I looked at it and I was thinking, okay, you got shit coming from the left and shit coming from the right, but really it ain't even that. You just surrounded by, to me, when I look at this, I think, okay, coming up, especially, being black or just being urban in America, period, coming up as a young man, especially, you have so many influences and you got to make so many decisions that really, looking at, I'm thinking this kid, between 10 and 12, probably represent that age.
Yeah.
It was time when I was a kid, we could be kids. We go outside and play and, whatever, what I'm saying? We got in trouble, but it was kid trouble. This right here representing somebody having to make a bunch of grown man decisions before they're a grown man to me. You see what I'm saying? It's like, health decisions, social decisions, religious decisions, educational, drugs, you know what I'm saying? Everything is all in this picture, gangs, you know what I'm saying? And it shows the pressure that especially young black males are put up under.
Yeah.
And what it puts me in the mind of is, I read somewhere, I can't tell you exactly where, but cats can Google this. They say by the time inner city youth, especially a black male, is of adult age, he got the same post-traumatic stress disorder as a soldier that done been in the war.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So we showed the same, just being black in this country and not being rich, you have the same symptoms of PTSD as a veteran that done been to combat.
And what's crazy, man, I was talking to my mom, yesterday, because I was going to make a video talking about how dudes from 60 to like 79, which would be my father's age, how they failed us. And then my mama brought something to me. She was like, son, check this out. They didn't have, you might think they had, of course they had fathers, but they fathers weren't prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you right, because I was finna go in and she was like, they fathers was doing their thing. It's just a repeat cycle.
Right. Well, see, I'll show you something. A lot of people, I'm gonna show you working backwards from it. A lot of people look at kids, right? And they fuss at their kids and all this stuff for doing things that kids are supposed to do. Kids need guidance. You have to repetitively instruct them and discipline them and teach them and encourage them so that they can get it in their head.
Yeah.
Because they don't, how you expect a motherfucker that's 8, 9, 2 or 3 to act like an adult? He's not an adult yet. No. On that same note, when you're young, you don't understand what it is to be an adult. And a lot of times when you get 60, 50, 40, you start saying, okay, because you come into them, you starting to make them same decisions. You start to say, damn, now I see why they did this. So now I see why they made this decision. But even deeper than that, this is what you have to understand. Back before, because see, black people actually historically used to be conservative. We were more conservative than anybody. You know what I'm saying? And instead of all this liberal, we wasn't Democrats. Democrats was the one who it was Republicans who wanted to free the slave, not Democrats. A lot of people don't know that.
And you know what I'm saying? It's a dude in this city. I'm from Chattanooga. It's a dude in this city named Patrick Hampton. Bro, they hate on him for he state that same thing, but he don't have the approach that they looking for. So they be like, bro, you a coon and all this. And he be saying, bro, the Democratic Party ain't for us. But me personally, they work together, so ain't neither one of them for us. That's
right. It's like that old joke. Say, what color can I get this car in? Any color you want, as long as it's these two colors. You know what I'm saying? So your choices are limited. But to go even deeper than that, what we were talking about, see, back in the day, like I was telling you earlier, it's an insidious process. A long time ago, I did this skit. It's somewhere on a real tape, somewhere on the where it's at, called Lock and Load, where I was playing these characters, and they was having a meeting talking about a long. See, you got to understand that the powers that be thinking about generations, not 2 and 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So what's the things that are going on now with things that were put into motion? Shit, damn near 100 years ago, probably even more. But this is what happened. When they came out with welfare and shit like that, they said, yeah, we'll give you welfare, we'll give you food stamp, we'll give you rent. But the father can't live there. If the father's living there, we ain't giving you shit. Everybody that receive welfare know that the dude can't be there. You know what I'm saying?
If he there, you got to hide his stuff and all that.
Right. So back in the day, what cats would do was they would go and work a lot of times. They would leave and say, I'm going to work. And they would send money back home. But see, as a kid growing up, you just seen that he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So what happens in your subconscious mind is you relate normalcy to the father not being there. So when you become a father and you get older, you follow those same patterns. But that's not what the original fathers were doing. They were trying to take care of their family. And also, okay, well, I ain't gonna get in the way of that, and I can go work and send money back. You know what I'm saying? And then when they got on their feet, they would bring the family. You know what I'm saying? Now, over time, that right there turned into a cycle of men not being there. You know what I'm saying? And men, instead of getting married and having kids and being there, getting women pregnant, different women pregnant. You know what I'm saying? But that's because of a misunderstanding. Because of just like this picture, somebody who wasn't ready to understand what was really going on. They did the same thing with religion, with Christianity. Almost most of the slaves that they brought over here were Islamic, were Muslim. You know what I'm saying? But the way that they fooled the slaves, this is what they wouldn't let. It was against the law for black people to congregate in large groups. You know what I'm saying? Especially during slavery time, even after slavery time. So what they would do, unless you was going to church. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So what they would do was they would have meetings in the pretense of Christian church, especially in the South, you know what I'm saying, Baptists and all that. Yeah. And they would be singing them songs that the white folk didn't want to hear, keeping white folk from coming in there. And they would actually be having secret meetings. The kids didn't understand that. So over a generation or two, the kids actually started being indoctrinated into the religion because they didn't understand that it was a pretense. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like even when you think you're going against the plan, you might be going with the plan because that's how they planned it. You see what I'm saying? See, they don't have to give you the wrong information. All they got to do is teach you the wrong thought process. So even when you get the right information, you don't believe it. That's where that saying come from. You'll believe a lie quicker than you believe the truth.
That's crazy. Hey, let me ask you this since you said that. I just want your take on it. I have my own take on it. The flat earth. What's your take on that?
Man, I'll tell you something. I always tell people, man, I'm not even going to waste the brain space it takes to argue with somebody who actually believes that we stand on a flat planet. I mean, come on, bro.
All right, check this out, though.
I put it to you like this. You can look at this. You can literally, like if you ever been to the beach especially, or anywhere like a plane, it's obvious that the earth is not flat. Number one, the sky meets the horizon. You know what I'm saying? And number two, just if you understand anything about science and physics, the way that the sun rises and falls, the way that the seasons change, you know what I'm saying? And I put it to you like this. Okay. West Coast time, East Coast time. 3 hours behind, right?
Okay.
Okay, from the East Coast to the West Coast is 3,000 miles, right? The reason it's 3 hours behind is because the Earth spins at roughly 1,000 miles per hour. So the sun in the sky, in respect to us standing on the Earth, moves by, you know what I'm saying, at 1,000 miles per hour. So over a distance of 3,000 miles, it's 3 hour time difference. That alone, scientifically, should tell you. You know what I'm saying? Also, how you gonna dig deep thousands, miles in the Earth if it was flat and you're getting closer to the core and it's getting hotter? It wouldn't work like that.
All right, check this
Where the
out.
gold coming from? Where the oil? Where's all this? How come the water ain't falling off the edge of the planet? You know what I'm saying? This ain't Asgard. You know what I'm saying? I've been looking at too many Avengers movies. But I understand why people a long time ago thought that. But anybody who actually thinks that now is tripping. And then you can just look at. I put you like this. Look at the sky. You can go buy your own telescope and look at other. What we the only flat planet? Why the other ones round? Why the moon round? Why is the sun round? Jupiter, Mars, Venus. You know what I'm saying? Why every other planet round but the Earth gonna be flat like a frisbee? It's just. I don't even argue that point because usually if I'm gonna have a debate with somebody or something, it's at least a valid. I can understand the validity of what they're saying, and then we can debate that intelligently. But there's no real intelligent way to somebody who actually like for real about that shit, and they can give you absolutely no examples to prove that the Earth is flat ever. Like whenever you read somebody's reasoning for saying that it's flat, okay, well how come ain't nobody never just went to see if it was flat? Because you can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You gonna end up back where you was because it's round.
All right, I got something for you. This gonna be dope right here. All right, check this out. We are taught that the Earth consists of the space, the water, the sky, the water, the whole planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is my take on it. We probably differ. I believe in the Bible, so this is my perspective. The Bible says the dry land, which is called Earth. Mm-hmm. Just hear me. Mm-hmm. Not the sky, not the water, not nothing else, just the land, right? Mm-hmm. So we are taught that a plane is a what?
It's a plane in mathematics is flat.
A flat surface, right?
Right.
So when I say the Earth is flat, this is just me. I ain't talking about the sky, because I'm not that stupid to equate all that in there. I'm not talking about the sky, I'm not talking about the water, I'm talking about the land, the dry land. Because look, even when you get on a plane, you go from A to B. And even an airplane coincides with you traveling on a flat surface, like leaving one flat surface and going on the horizon and landing on the next. Just something to think. Just something to think about.
Well, let me allow, like your boy Samuel Jackson said, allow me to retort.
Okay, go ahead.
You take a little tiny ant, right?
Okay.
And you take a big ass, like a big beach ball, and you sit him on that beach ball. From his perspective, the surface is flat because he's so small. You see what I'm saying?
I got you.
But from our perspective, being gigantic over it is obviously a ball. Now, the way gravity works is displacement. Just like when you get in the bathtub and the water come up, same thing happens with space. There's no such thing as empty space. That's a misconception. Space is a thing itself. So when you put something there, you move space out of the way. But space is kind of grafted, you know what I'm saying? Which is how I know it's an intelligent design to the universe. It wants to be where it's supposed to be. So it presses back on you. When that space presses back on whatever's where it's supposed to be, it causes a pressure. It's a displacement. That's gravity. But this is the thing. We live in this space. You can't leave out of the space. So when you're in what you call warp space, like the Earth is so massive, it warps the space around it.
Okay.
Now, if you was an astronaut, this is the way that they do a geosynchronous orbit. You just go in a straight line, but you're actually going in the curvature of the space. If I tell you to drive down the street and go straight, and the street curve, you're not going to drive off the road into the woods. You're going to curve along with the street.
I got you.
Even though I said go straight. You see what I'm saying? So we can't go. The curvature of the space that's warped, when you go straight, it feels like you're going straight, but you're actually curving with the warp of space. Even when you look up at the sky at night, a lot of stars that you're seeing are actually behind each other. And if you was traveling towards them fast enough and you got closer, you'll start seeing them shift. That's a lensing effect, because light bends. Anybody that have been underwater or use a magnifying glass or put a pair of glasses on, light bends. Because of the warp of space, as the light travels through space, it bends. So you're actually able to see behind stuff over a long distance because it's all curved. Now, technically, the universe is flat, but not flat in the sense of what we say. But the planets and all of that is round. And the reason that they're round is because everything is in constant motion, and the gravity is pushing on it from every direction equally. So if you take something that's malleable and you press on it from every direction equally, what are you going to end up with? A sphere, a ball.
I mean,
you go in there and roll some dough right now, you press it equally, you're gonna end up with a ball. The only way you end up with something flat is to press it unequally. But gravity is not gonna press unequally, which is why people on the other side of the planet don't. So somebody say, well, how come people on the other side of the planet don't fall off? Because in space there's no up or down. We perceive up and down on Earth because we evolved here to have an inner ear so that we feel gravity pressing us down. You see what I'm saying? But all you gotta do is look at the ocean. You see the ocean going higher and lower. If you look at the horizon, it's higher in the middle than it is on the sides. Over a long horizon, that's a curve, because it's going with the curvature of the Earth. Now, see, we call this planet Earth, but the actual word for dirt is Earth. You know what I'm saying? That's just a thing that happened over time. They used to call the sky the heavens, but the sky is not even. There's no such thing as a sky. That's just because oxygen scatters blue light more than it do other colors of light. When the sunlight come through, you see in blue. The ocean ain't blue either. Water clear. That's a reflection of the blue light scattering off the sky. You see what I'm saying?
Makes perfect sense.
So there are a lot of things that you see with your eye that if you think of them in too much of a layman's term, it'll seem like something that is not. You know what I'm saying? You take a diamond, shine a light through it, you see every color, but the diamond clear. You see what I'm saying? That's because you're taking the light and breaking it up. On that same notion, if you go in there and flush your toilet, why spin? And then if you go to Australia, why spin the other way? Because you're on the other hemisphere of the Earth. See, the Earth is spinning clockwise from our perspective. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go on the other side, spinning counterclockwise. You see what I'm saying? So when you drain water down the drain, it spins because the Earth itself is spinning. And if you take anybody that done been on the streets and cook dope know that if you take some dope and drop it in the water and spin it around, it ends up being a ball. You see what I'm saying? Because that's just one of the nature of physics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it ain't like you couldn't take, because planets when they first start, it's molten. It ain't like that can't be made into a flat surface. But the reason it's not is because of the pressure that's on it is equal from all sides. So roughly you get around it. It don't be perfect spheres, but you roughly get a round shape. The more dense that material is, the more pressure on it, the more perfectly round it is. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
So I mean, sound like it all depends on your definition, if that makes sense.
Well, it makes sense, but it's not just about the definition. It's about an understanding of. You got to understand a lot of people, when they came up with names and came up with explanations for things that they didn't understand at the time, as they understood more, that's what science is, search for knowledge. As you understand more, you say, well, this is what we thought it was, but now we found out that this ain't what it was. And then you say, oh, well, also this, and also this. It's a constant evolution, the same way we constantly evolve. So like I say, I understand why, a long time ago, there were people that thought that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, around that same time, it was niggas that knew that shit wasn't. That's why when you had Vikings that was scared to sail out of sight of land, you had niggas that already had been all the way around the motherfucker, knew how far it was and everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's 26,000 miles around this motherfucker, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we got a North and South Pole. We got a magnetic field. you know what I'm saying, compass, all that. None of that would work if the Earth was just a flat, you know what I'm saying, you know, disk. But this is the thing. Take a planet like Saturn.
Okay.
You look at Saturn's rings in a telescope from here. It look like a razor blade going around there. The ring is thick as hell. The ring thicker than a New York building. But from a distance of millions of miles, it looked like a razor. You see what I'm talking about?
So it just depends on your angle.
It depends on your perspective. To a giant, the Earth might look like a baseball. But to a tiny person standing on the Earth in relation to the Earth, they think they're standing on something flat. You see what I'm saying? But they're not. You feel me? But see, the thing is, the Earth is mostly, people don't understand the Earth. People think the Earth is mostly water. The Earth is covered by water. The Earth is mostly iron. The middle of the Earth is molten iron. It's spinning. That's why we got a magnetic field. You see what I'm saying? Because iron is magnetic. You know what I'm saying? And since it's got a core that's molten, but it's being held by so much pressure that it acts like a solid, right? And then out, as you get a little further out, it's a little cooler. So it's a skin on top of that that's not molten, spinning at a different speed than the inside. And you can go do this experiment. You take that iron skin and the molten and the iron on the inside, they spinning at two different speeds. It creates a magnetic electrical field. You know what I'm saying? That's how magnets work. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, there are certain things in the physical universe that if the Earth was flat, it wouldn't be like that. You see what I'm saying? It's just the mathematics. Even if you can't fly out like Superman and look back at the planet, the mathematics tell the story. You see what I'm saying? Plus the example of the rest of the universe, all the planets around, every last one of them.
All right, let me put this disclaimer out there for folks be like, man, he tripping. When I was just talking about the land. I get
I understand where you're coming from, and that's a perspective.
But
it's still not flat. It seems flat to you. As a matter of fact, I go as far as to say this: in this universe, there actually is technically no such thing as a straight line. Because of the curvature of space, there's no such thing as a straight line. A straight line is an illusion.
I'm with you.
So if I can shine a laser out in space, that laser is going to bend with the curvature of space. But since I'm inside that same curvature, from my perspective, it's going in a straight line. Now, the reason being, because I say like displacement of gravity, right? Shine it past a black hole and watch what happens. You're going to see it curve in there because the gravity is so strong that even light can't escape. So you actually see the light being into the black hole. You know what I'm saying? What they call a black hole, which is another misnomer. See, a lot of things we fooled by the names. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a simple name, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't fully understand exactly what it is. It's not even a hole. You know, what we call a black hole is not actual. See, we say black hole, and people think it's a hole. How's it going to be a hole? It's not a hole. It's just a gravity distortion that's so powerful that nothing can escape it, even light. And since light can't escape it, you can't see it. So we call it black. You know what I'm saying? And since it's pulling stuff in, we call it a hole, but that's not what it is.
Okay. Hey, so I see I'm gonna definitely have to get you on here. Cause hey, see, these be the type of conversations.
You said you wanted to talk about more than music.
Hey, these be the type of conversations I want to have, but people be like, man, you tripping. Cause see, I think like you be thinking, I be like, okay. That's why I called the show the Deprogram show.
Hey man, Risen Carr is one of my favorite MCs because his name means knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everywhere. It ain't nothing wrong with knowledge. Just because I don't care what you do, there's nothing to keep you from having knowledge of other things around you, especially the universe itself. Because I mean, you live in it. That's just like saying you don't know nothing about your own house. You live in that motherfucker. You might want to know what's up with it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I ain't saying everybody got to go out here and try to be a physicist, but what I'm saying is, if you sit back, quiet your mind, and listen, the universe tells you what's up. You know what I'm saying? You can read all the books in the world, you can listen to all the lectures in the world, but really, you know what I'm saying? The cosmos constantly telling you the truth. That's what they talk about when they say God talk to you all the time. He gonna tell you the truth. He ain't gonna lie to you, but you got to listen though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you got to listen. And on that point, I hate when there's no differentiation from spirituality, not religion, and science, because both of them are a search for the truth. Same thing. Religion just is a repetitive action. That don't mean jack shit. Spirituality.
Hold on. Say for the people, because I be saying they think I'm tripping. Say that point again about religion.
Religion, or to do something religiously, means to do it repetitively or to do it over and over again. Something that you do regularly, like on a schedule. In other words, if you exercise, like a football player works out religiously, that just means he does it all the time. He does it, see when you're part of a religion, you got a schedule. You go to church on Sunday or Saturday or whatever it is. There's certain times that you recognize certain holidays and certain rituals and different things. You got dates and times that everybody know when you're gonna do it. That's why they call it religion. But that has nothing to do. Spirituality is your relationship with the cosmos, which is what God is to me. God is the universe to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to talk about a being, you know what I'm saying, that live in the sky, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But to me, there is an intelligent design to this universe. In other words, it's not a mistake, it's not a mishap. It was meant to be as it is, which proves a creator. But that doesn't disprove science. So it's just like people that believe and say, well, there ain't no such thing as dinosaurs. It's dinosaur bones right there. Well, where you get that gas from in your car? Because the earth doesn't make, you know what I'm saying, petroleum. The earth doesn't make oil. That's why we can run out of it. That's just rendered down fat from life forms over here. The same thing with the soil and the topology of the trees and all the rest of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I can go, it's like everything, you can go out here right now and find a DNA strand in a tree that you got in your body. How we get some of the same DNA in our body as a plant? Because we all come from the same thing. We all one, all life. Everything in the whole universe is all connected. You see what I'm saying? And it's not a magical, metaphysical thing. That's a scientific fact. You know what I'm saying? But it's also a spiritual fact. Because the Bible and everything else been telling you that you one with everything and you're supposed to respect all life and all the rest of that. So that ain't nothing new. And then cats will say, well, I don't believe in aliens. I believe in God. I'd be like, well, God is an alien. How God an alien? I say, is he from Earth? How you gonna create the Earth and be from Earth? So what's the definition of an alien?
Just a foreign being.
An alien is a motherfucker that's not from where where he is, right? So if God created Earth, he's not from Earth. Therefore, he is an alien by definition.
Facts.
They can't say, I don't believe in UFOs. So if I throw something past your head and you don't know what it was something flying through the air that was an object that you can't identify. It's an unidentified flying object. What you mean you don't believe in UFOs? You know what everything is that fly past you in the sky. It doesn't have to be an alien, just some shit that went by. You don't know what it is yet. So you have to understand, just because somebody say UFO don't mean alien. Half of probably 90% of the shit that been reported as UFO is probably our shit. You know what I'm saying? Government don't tell you everything. Nigga don't know that by now. Come on, man.
Man, you full crazy.
I'm pretty sure when they was testing aircraft and shit back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, people thought they were spaceships, but it just was advanced aircraft that was top secret. They ain't supposed to tell you it's top secret. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, a lot of times we say, well, they trying to hide it from us. I'm not trying to make you think they're trying to hide it from you. The thing that they're trying to make you think they hide it from you, or so you'll believe that they hide it from you, so you'll get stuck on that, because that's what they want you to think. You see what I'm saying? So you got to understand how it works. It's just like a magician. We know it's an illusion, but we go there to be entertained. We go and look at it, but then it's still like, damn, how you do that? Majority of what he's doing is not even him. It's other people that you don't know about. It's the assistant. But you watching him so close, trying to see how he doing the trick, that you don't even know that it's a team effort. You see what I'm saying? That's the same thing we do. We so worried about the president, he ain't doing jack shit. That's why I got a form so you can put anybody off in there. The bum off the street can do the same thing. Like, you can take a monkey and put him in the office and we have the same country we got, because the president don't run jack shit.
Hey, man, I be telling people that, like, people be like, man, why you don't vote? I say, man, check this out, man.
I ain't saying don't vote, but my point is,
I mean, this just me.
It's like a muscle. Use it or lose it, because the voting, it might not be as effective as we think it is, but you don't want to lose that power. You see what I'm saying? because it could come, it could come in handy. But my point is, I mean, you don't vote, you don't vote. You do vote, you do vote. I'm not going to judge nobody based on either one. But what I'm saying is, anybody that thinks the president actually has people, we think he has more power than he does. He really doesn't have that much power. Most of the government officials and shit are pawns. The people that really run the show, in my opinion, in my belief, are unseen. You know what I'm saying? The people that you don't know about. It's the same motherfuckers by bloodline that's been running this motherfucker since the beginning.
And I'm with you on that. I believe the same thing.
Yeah, secret societies and all the rest of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what time it is, but don't nobody want to admit it because they want to say, "Oh, well, you crazy. That's conspiracy theories." I mean, okay, what's a theory? A working hypothesis based on, logical information. What's a conspiracy? Some motherfucker that got together and made a plan. So you think people don't get together and make plans
all the time?
You know what I'm saying? And you can, it's like cause and effect.